Hey guys, it's Kim, Angel Dream Crafts, and I am here with a project share. And this is my very first junk journal. I've never made one before. Well, that's not true. I kind of made one when we did a live show several months ago, but I didn't like the way it turned out, so I've never really revisited doing that. But this one I'm pretty happy with. I've been watching quite a few ladies on YouTube. Um, Specifically Chrissy Crosser and another lady whose name escapes me at the moment, but I will put a link to her channel down below as well. I think her name is Jackie Drake, but I could be wrong. But again, I'll put the links to the two ladies' channels down below in the description box for you guys to go check out. So I've been watching what they've been doing, and you know, there's a million tutorials out there on YouTube. So I kind of watched several and then did my own spin on it. I've never really been much of a paper crafter, but I do love working with lace and fabric, and I like mixed media. So that's kind of how I approached making this book. Excuse me. The book started off, and I'll show you the back, with some textured paper that I had in my stash. And you can sort of see it here on the spine a bit. It was actually a gold color. And I sewed a spine between two pieces of paper. And then once that was together, I gessoed over top of the gold, just very roughly, so you could still see a tiny bit of the gold coming through, but I didn't want much of it showing. And then I took this very pretty tissue paper that Olivia had used when she sent my birthday happy mail. And I wanted to repurpose some of it, so I Mod Podged it down with some sparkle Mod Podge. So it does have some glitter, but you can also still see the texture. So this paper is really cool. I got it quite a long time ago, several years ago, and it's just been sitting here, and I have it in gold and silver. So I'm going to make another one, but I'm going to use the silver paper. So we'll see how that goes. But I really did have fun making this. So, you know, who knew? I didn't think I would enjoy it, but I actually did. So after I made the base, then I gathered up all of the papers and bits that I wanted, and I just made one big signature. I sewed it in 3 parts. I did, like, I don't know, 5 sheets, 5 sheets, and 5 sheets, or of whatever together. Paper bags, music sheets. You'll see when I open it up. And I just sewed them all together. And then I took some Beacon 3-in-1, which is this glue, because one of the ladies had recommended once you've got your pages sewn, you can just use glue. It stays in, it's fine. You don't have to sew it or anything like that. So I did use the Beacon to put the pages together, and then to attach it to the spine. And then I took just some jute, and I wrapped it all the way around the pages, and then just tied a knot, and I just left it like that. I've left this pretty scruffy because that's the style I like. I left all of my strings hanging, as you can see here. I just like that look. So after I had got everything inside, then I decorated the front, and I printed off this lovely Parisian lady here, because I wanted this to be, you know, have sort of a very old vintage feel. I've used some antique lace from my stash here. This was off a table runner. This piece here is from a trim from Craft Supplies for You. And then I made these flowers with some fabric that I had, and I love how they came out. They're just, I love making rolled roses, but this is a new one that I've been playing around with, so I attached that on there. And then I attached one of my little mixed media metal pieces, and then another metal piece in the corner. For this piece itself, it's all fabric, and I just sewed bits and bits and bits on my machine till I was happy with it, and then I took that piece and glued that down on top of the book. I went around it with a couple of different vintage trims, and then I added this amber locket piece that I've had in my stash forever, just as to hold the closure down. And I just did a simple seam binding closure. and I just put a nice applique on the back to cover it. So I think that's pretty much all of that. So let me untie it and I'll show you what's inside. I have coffee stained all of the pages. Now on this first page I made a pocket on the front and on the back with this ribbon trim that I've had forever in my stash, and you can see I just went around and made a ruffle with this vintage trim. And then I made two little journaling books out of this paper is actually some 12 by 12 paper, and oftentimes if I'm just, you know, wanting to do something but don't know what, I'll take out some paper that I have in my stash and I will just spray it and put texture paste on it and stamp it, and then I have it for whatever I want it for. And I actually folded a piece, made it into a little booklet, tied it with some seam binding, put some vintage lace down on top of it, and then on the inside I folded an envelope that I altered. This is actually a little tuck spot over here as well, so later on I can tuck things in there. And then the envelope I folded, this is another tuck spot in here, and then I've just done that, another stamp there, and then I've just got the little tag stuck in there like that. So it's a little journaling book. So that just tucks in there. And then this one I did as well. This one I did sew with a needle and thread just for that sort of look. Just some paper and muslin and lace and a bit of crocheted doily, and I just sewed some music paper and other vintage paper just inside the book. That's it. So it's good spots for journaling or whatever, and that just sticks in there. So as I said, I coffee and tea dyed all of the pages. I'll just move that out of the way. This is a little muslin heart that I did here, and I sewed it on my sewing machine, but there's a little gap here, so you can tuck something secret in there. I used many of my ATCs that I had previously created, and I added them as tuck spots and little pieces of art inside the book. So this one on the first page says "Find Your Wings and Fly," and I did this probably 3 years ago. And I just used watercolors and alcohol inks to achieve the background on that, and then just put a little metal butterfly and a metal piece down, and that's it. This has just got, like I said, I sewed the heart on the paper and then just added a few little pieces of lace. This is a vintage journal page, and you can see the sewing from the heart on this side. And then I just put a doily down, and that's a little tuck spot. And then I had all of these, you'll see throughout the book. I got them as a free gift from Darkroom Door ages ago. I had bought some stamps from them, and this was like a freebie. And they're just scenes from Paris. So you can use them for journaling cards or whatever, but the doily's a nice little tuck spot. This is another ATC that I made on some paper I created, and I just stamped on it. It says, "It took me 4 years to learn to paint like Raphael and a lifetime to learn to paint like a child," and that is a quote from Picasso. And I created a little tuck spot back there. You can see all the pages have been coffee dyed. Another little ATC I did here, it says "Once in a Blue Moon." Another little journaling card from Prima. This bag Olivia sent me when she sent my birthday Happy Mail, and I just loved it so much, so I just glued it onto the page, and I've added a little tag here that I have yet to alter, and I'll explain that in a minute. Just some designer paper from my stash, music paper. These little card candy pieces, I believe Annie made me when she entered my doily challenge. So I've used the whole package throughout the book. They just worked out perfectly. And this is actually a piece of art from Kristen Powers, who is the owner of Rubber Moon Stamps, when I designed for her. And she sent me this to thank me for being part of the team. That's going back a few years as well. And then on the other side of the paper clip, I just added another journaling card. And here I just added some lace, and then this is another little piece from the card candy, and it's a tiny little booklet. It's so adorable that she made. So So I'm just tucking it in here. Fits right in there nicely. Lots of room for doodling and drawing. A muslin heart that I sewed on there and coffee dyed. And then this is a paper bag that you'll see the other half of it. I folded it and used it. And I've got just a little paper clip here with a tattered piece of lace and another journaling card. And then inside I've got this lovely vintage photo. It's an antique photo, actually. I collect antique photos. And I love the background. And so I just put her in there because I thought she was so pretty, with a tag that I have yet to alter. And that just tucks inside the bag. And then there's more vintage journaling paper, music paper, just pages I've left for doing mixed media on. This page is, I think it's a Kaiser craft paper, but I can't remember, in black. And then I sewed a piece of chenille here, and that created another tuck spot. And I've got a tag and another Prima journaling card. A few pages of music paper and very old dictionary paper here. And then here I've got another doily with another tuck spot for one of those photograph pieces. Bit of washi tape and coffee stained paper. This is a piece of vellum that I coffee stained and then heated up, and it's all wrinkly now and super textured. I love it. This is actually an upside down paper, and it's got a little piece of muslin I sewed on, but it does create a couple of little tuck spots there for later. Music paper, a little piece of a polka dot fabric, more vellum, more journaling pages here for drawing and doing mixed media on. A few more pages here as well. There's a black page. I wanted some black in here as well, just to play around with. Music paper, and then a blue paper bag. And this side created a tuck spot for a tag and a journaling card. More vintage dictionary paper, and then the other side of the bag, which I've put a couple of black tags in, right there. Music paper, more of the black paper. This page has a tiny little trim of lace at the top with a clip and a black tag and another piece of mixed media paper that I created ages ago. This is an envelope that I altered quite a while ago, and I put it down, and then it creates a little spot here, and I created this little card, little spot for journaling. It says dream on it, and that tucks inside there, just like that. It says dreamer here, and this is a Finnabar stamp and some washi tape and the letter K. More paper, coffee dyed paper, more vellum, the other side of the polka dot fabric paper, vellum, more of my mixed media paper, ATC that I did with a tuck spot there for another tag. This page I coffee stained and then put a piece of lace down on top of it. Dictionary paper with a bit of washi on it. And then the music paper with another little tuck spot here with some lace. And then two of my ATCs here that I did a long time ago. And this one is another tuck spot. And then I've got a tag, and then this clip that Annie made me. So that's attaching those two, and then it just tucks back in there like that. Washi tape, and then I made this envelope, and then I've got another one of my ATCs in here. And it says, listen to your soul, and it says smile and freedom, and it's a bunch of kites. And I made this in 2014, so I've had it for a while, so now it has a home in this little envelope inside my junk journal. And then I did just some wonky stitching here for fun, left the fibers hanging. There's the other part of the brown paper bag, and it's got another tuck spot there, and then I just sewed a piece of fabric there, and the fabric says Outlander, because, well, you know why. I'm a huge Outlander fan. More paper, another one of my ATCs that I did, and a tuck spot there. Little piece of doily. More coffee stained paper. This is an envelope I altered, and it's just got these fun little witchy tags in it that somebody sent me ages ago. So they're just kind of hiding in there. More paper. This paper I just put some embossing powder on just for a fun texture. And then a nice blank page for drawing on. Another page, and then we're at the back here, and then this bag was created for me years ago in one of the very first swaps I ever did, which was with Jennifer Densmore, and I've kept the bag all these years, and I just love the bag, so I tucked it in here, and it can be for little keepsakes because it has Velcro on it, so you can put little keepsakes in there. So that is my messy desk, because this is very messy to make. It's a lot of paper, a lot of cutting, but I really had fun doing it. You can see how full and fat it is, but I really do love it. I had a good time doing it, and you know, I'm going to be using it a lot, I think, because I want to use this as a new art journal. So that's why I've left a lot of the pages blank, so I can create inside it and do some mixed media. And I've left all the tags blank because I want to be able to, you know, create on them later. So that's my book, guys. Let me know what you think. Please be kind. I've never made one before, like I said. The one that I made before, I just did not like. I didn't quite understand, you know, what I was doing, but I'm happier with this one, and I may actually make another one because I enjoyed doing this one so much. So I hope you like it. Let me know what you think, and leave me a comment and let me know, and I'll be back with another video soon. Take care, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.